Right, moving on to the next round of this tournament. Also a mirror matchup. Well, this time Galzian versus Galzian. It's going to be on Titan Passage, and it will be me versus Begil. I don't know. I've never seen this guy before, actually. I've played him in like 3v3, I think, but I've never seen him in the 1v1 scene before. So he's a bit of a wild card. But I'm excited to see him playing in the tournament. I really like it when players branch out into 1v1 because personally I feel it's the true method of DOK. But you know, that's me. But also because you know, it fills up more people to our tournament, which I really like. So we do need more numbers. Like you could tell in this tournament, perhaps we were pretty thin on numbers. I'm trying not to admit weakness, but there it is. But yeah, I love to see players entering the tournament, even if you know they're not really very skilled in 1v1. They've never really done it very much before. And then occasionally you get someone join the tournament who's never been there before, who just is like surprisingly one of the best players in the game. It's like, what the heck? China all the time, like showed up for the first time ever in a tournament, and then he took a map off A-Game Inks, and we're all like, what? You never know. There could be some like hidden talent lurking around, someone who's mastered his build against the AI somehow. Anyway, first engagement is going to come out very, very early here, as both of us are going for sort of the Galzian aggression build. I'm going to see him on the high ground and back away here. These builds look almost identical, although Begil's gone up for fleet capacity slightly earlier. That'll give him a slight delay in Sand-Skimmer production in the very early game, but then my delay is coming in just right now, pretty much. Oh, did I do that perfectly? I don't think I had any delay in Sand-Skimmer fabrication. Wow. Sorry, I'm just reveling in my glory. I shouldn't do that kind of stuff. This Sand-Skimmer getting focused down, but that one getting focused down faster. And this guy could have gotten away if he'd gotten over the hill a little bit faster, but that's alright. These three Sand-Skimmers here are going to take this one out. So it's looking pretty good for me so far. I'm going to use base runner healing to try to save this one, though I popped it a bit earlier. I think Begil actually could have jumped on top of it to get some advantage out of that, but that's alright. One more Sand-Skimmer going to go down right here, so that's looking like a 3-to-1 trade so far. Is that correct? Yeah, 3-to-1. Looking pretty good for me. And now I'm feeling, okay, well, he's probably pretty weak back on this side, so I can just punish by pushing in. I just want to take out this Sand-Skimmer first so that he can't do anything stupid over here by my eco. He is going to go down. Begil, now up to him to respond. He's getting Power Reserve 1. I like that. That's usually a good choice because if your carrier is slightly more powered up, you're able to do a lot more. Although he's pushing back in with these Sand-Skimmers. I don't really like that too much. I mean, my army was back here, kind of chased off by that Sand-Skimmer, which means he got good value out of it by running off into the corner. It meant that I had to chase him. He should have, like, with that time, gone back to base and prepared his defense, I think. And one thing I will say, like, because I'm such an aggressive player, I never played defense in a Galzian mirror matchups. That's actually something that I'm not very good at. Just because I never do it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always the attacker. So, I'm not totally sure what the best, like, response is when you're on the defense in this kind of scenario, but I figure it's got to involve teching to assault ships, right? I don't know. But he's not tech to anything just yet. He's getting armor 2, though. So the Sand-Skimmers are going to be quite a lot beefier than mine are. However, I'm going to have assault ships coming out pretty soon, and that's going to be pretty spicy. That was the most horrible impression I've ever done, but whatever. You know who it is. Hey, look at this. The little pylons on the boneyard, like some of them are floating, but in this one they're not. They're all on the ground. How curious. Right, well, the Sand-Skimmer is going to go in here to see what's going on and be like, oh, I don't want to be here. As he is, in fact, going to get wrecked. You'll notice I have Sand-Skimmer raiding finished. That's going to allow me to move along the map faster. It gives me some nice snowball potential. And I am on the high ground here, which is pretty nice. But those Sand-Skimmers with armor are very difficult to kill. Using the Dune to bounce back around, I was able to get a one for nothing trade right there. And some assault ships beginning to come out onto the field just now. And with those, I should be able to push in. Do some good damage. This guy here running away because he's injured. This Sand-Skimmer here getting focused down by high ground, though he's probably going to get killed here. But now there's an assault ship. The assault ship should push the Sand-Skimmers back toward the carrier as well as the production cruiser and all that. Production cruiser just gonna hoover up some salvager kills right there. That was awkward. My sand skimmers ran too close to them, so they weren't actually firing because of like the firing arc stuff. But anyway, sand skimmer numbers for my opponent beginning to dwindle. He has got refinery mode, so he can have his carrier be like the defensive force here, which is good, but powering up systems would be nice as well. I like the power distribution actually, although having no speed is a little rough. But he's getting power reserve 2, which I actually approve of quite a lot. That's going to give him a lot more kind of punch. But I'm kind of thinking I can just move past this. Obviously I'm going to lose these assault ships here, but they're kind of sacrificial anyway. The idea is just like, well, I mean, if I can just run into your eco, that'd be good for me, right? I'm actually going to go out and chase these sand skimmers here just a little bit. Not sure why I'm not just moving right in. Maybe it's because I don't want to... trying to like avoid taking some damage to the carrier. And truth be told, none of them has actually gone down. This guy's gotten really low, but... But the carrier moving in here with a lot more speed than I was expecting, I'm just going to fall back and push in maybe with the sand skimmers. Not totally sure what my game plan is right here, but it will involve moving here at some point. Yeah, and you can see the command coming in now, but this guy moving away just because, you know, why let him die if he can live, yeah. Your life is worth it. You have so much to live for. So these assault ships running into the main here. No military presence to speak of for Begil, so it looks like things are really just kind of snowballed off of kind of a bad start. And he's just sort of going to get stomped out of this by economy, basically. He's a sentinel. The one you really want is Guardian, though, because it gives him the fire rate. But he will never reach that rank, as he was mercilessly slaughtered. Looks like heavy rails coming out. It's an interesting choice. I think assault rails would make more sense here since he was kind of sandwiched. The assault rail would be able to survive a bit better because it's faster, but... tis no matter. I think this is really mostly over already. Artifacts extracting off the back of this. He's going to chip some damage into his production cruiser now. I think I pointed this out in my recording of the games from my perspective, but that was actually like, it might have been accidental, but it was like a masterful carrier block there because the sand skimmers were like stuck on the carrier, so they couldn't turn, so they couldn't actually shoot at it. It was just like the funniest little thing. It was a small detail, but mattered quite a lot. You know, in Homeworld Classic, like the ballistic system is really big. It's like it really matters if the shot would actually land or not, so like the individual movements of the ships matters a lot. In this game they don't have that, but what they do have is like the orientation of the ships matters so much actually. Like, if the ship is forced to turn because it's next to a carrier, it just can't shoot, you know? The Coalition haven't got that problem, of course, because all their weapons are not pintle mounted like these ones are, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Pintle mounted. That's the right word, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, these interceptors gonna clean up this production cruiser, who admittedly has gotten onto quite a lot of health, but to no avail. He will go down. This is a worthy sacrifice, of course. A brave sacrifice for our Gaussian heroes of the day. Because once this thing goes down, no more military production for my opponent, so... yeah, and he knows it. He's gonna GG out of the game. It would have just been kind of like a slow grind to the end otherwise. I had railgun fabrication already, so I just kind of make some rails and then push in and kill him, but no one's really interested in that phase of the game, so he just goes ahead and admits defeat right there. Fun game. Actually, I thought he put on a pretty decent show. Sandskimmer Micro in the beginning was not terrible. I kind of enjoyed that. But I just kind of slowly got the upper hand, was able to push in, snowball off the back of that. I think his response back into his base to defend could have been a little bit better, but yeah, that was not a bad game. And we are finally done with Taidan Passage. We don't have to come back to this horrible place, at least until next tournament. Did I mention I don't like this map? Anyway, I'll catch you on the next round.